From tribune.com.pk. I have no idea what this is. What is this? The Express Tribune. They say Asmongold blames Hassan Abi for Twitch's adpocalypse.
What? Does he seriously never? He's never heard the...
What this is? What is this? The Express Tribune. They say Asmongold blames Hassan Abi for Twitch's adpocalypse affecting streamers' ad revenue.
It's actually Destiny's...
Destiny is?
Well, it's not Destiny himself. It's Destiny's followers.
Yeah. Is this the guy that got really mad that I only stood up, shook his hand, and said hi, and didn't like talk to him more before my show? Or is this a different guy? Yes? Okay. I feel like I've seen multiple clips of him where Tim is talking about something and he brings me up, he's real mad. He's real obsessed.
Yeah, because they're going after his...
Well, let's get the story first.
Yes.
They say Asmongold explained his position during his broadcast, saying Hassan clearly is one of the biggest proponents of this. I would say he is the main reason. He had a majority of the examples used in discussions about demonetization on Twitch pertain to Hassan Abi. That's Hassan Piker. Maybe not 90, maybe 80, 70, but it is the majority of all examples in the entire platform. The adpocalypse refers to a reduction in ad revenue across Twitch, reportedly affecting some creators by as much as 90%. Yeah. Industry experts, including Devin Nash, have previously linked the issue to polarizing political content on the platform. Hassan Abi has faced criticism for his coverage of Middle Eastern conflicts, with allegations of promoting anti-Semitic rhetoric. U.S. Congressman Richie Torres even cited Hassan Piker in a congressional letter accusing Twitch of amplifying extremist voices. Asmongold defended his stance, stating, "You can say it's unfair, that's fine, but you can't say that it's not happening, or that it's not the reason." He also criticized Twitch for its inconsistent moderation policies. Yep. They go to mention that Twitch has not officially commented on the controversy, but recently updated its hateful conduct policy regarding the term Zionist.
Because the ADL told him to.
Is that, well, look, hey man.
Yeah, not getting the ADL and putting a policy. They said, nope, you got to do this. They capitulated the ADL immediately.
This is liberals and leftists' welcomes to Leopard Ate My Face.
Yeah.
Leopard Ate My Face. This is, they advocated and begged, and to this day, they still beg for it. And I am happy to watch them crumble and wither into a dried husk of their former selves.
Well, the gamers all over Twitch are like, no, they want all political content off of Twitch. Gamers are begging Twitch, get rid of political content. We don't want it. We want ad-friendly content. That's us gaming, right? That's ad-friendly content. We don't want this. But for Twitch, these guys are cash cows, right? Hassan, they're cash cows.
Destiny has a viral video right now where he says that all of the people on the right should be banned.
Including you.
Including me. Yeah. He says people like,
by name?
By name.
Yeah, by name.
I don't know who else he mentions. I don't remember. But he says, Tim Pool, these people, they're only awful and their platform should be totally banned. And I'm like,
oh, he said Tucker.
That sounds exactly like what I said. Yes, all these people should be banned because they're awful. Yes, true. True, my queen, Tim Pool. Yes.
Carlson, right? He said Tim Pool. He said there was multiple personalities.
I'm in complete agreement right now with him, and I'm glad he brought it up because we hold the power.
Will they engage substantively with anything I said? No, of course not. Obviously not. But that's okay. This is good. I like this level of commentary where you don't have to do any show prep. You don't have to like engage with any argument seriously. You don't have to use your brain at all. You could just sit here in your studio and yep.
Power of the institutions. We won the popular vote. The advertisers are siding with X, and he's going to get himself banned.
Oh, the popular vote, that matters now? Wait, so the popular vote does matter now. Is that...
And I'm glad he brought it up because we hold the power of the institutions. We won the popular vote. The advertisers are siding with X, and he's going to get himself banned for screaming this. And bye-bye, Destiny.
Disney came back.
Wait, Destiny's going to get banned for saying you should be banned? Is that a bannable offense on Twitter now? Is that what would I get banned for? What?
Back to X too, even. That's what I'm talking about. All the major corporations are coming back to X because Destiny.
Are they though? Are all the major corporations coming back to X, or have a couple people said that they'll buy ads for cheaper now because the platform is like destitute? Isn't Elon Musk still trying to sue everybody for leaving initially?
His ilk are on the wrong side of history. Yep. Destiny wanted to make the argument about democracy and all that. Well, he's anti-democracy. The more he complains, he is opposed to the will of the people. So if he wants to advocate for bannings, I say, well, don't look at me. But
banning people from platforms, that's anti-democracy now? Huh, crazy. Okay. Didn't know that. All right. Glad to learn though.
My stance on this has changed.
And he's by the way, this guy's always been a deplatformer. I mean, going way back, he's always been the advocate for deplatforming, unless it's him. Unless it's
10 years ago, I was in the we shouldn't ban people, we protect free speech, even for those who disagree with camp. Now I'm in the I do not defend my enemies. Yes. Destiny wants to burn down free speech. I say, hey man, you're on your own. So when they
that's me, yes, true.
Start ripping their revenue away and banning them out, and Hassan as well, I just say, sucks for you guys, I guess. I ain't gonna speak up for you.
No.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm not
suffer.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit there. I would never go and go out of my way to try and like get someone banned, but I'm not gonna lift one finger. Right. I'm not gonna waste one.
Like you were before. Like these guys were doing so much to fight for freedom of speech for people that they massively disagreed with before. Okay, bro.
Yep. Bit of breath trying to defend him, or anyone that says, oh, these people should be banned. If you're advocating for banning people, like beat it. I'm not going to defend you.
What people are saying is even so much worse than that. It's not even just the idea of democracy. What Destiny was saying in that video clip, and I've heard this echoed from guys like Pacman and many others, is that all of humanity is benefited by you being gone. You even having a place to say anything is an existential threat to humankind itself.
That's what you're saying.
And all that happened.
I think that was exactly what I said. Not that having people hijack institutions relating to freedom of speech and just using it to propagate lies, knowing that they're lying the entire time just for their own enrichment, is a bad thing. No, it was just me saying freedom of speech is bad, and there are certain voices that are conservative that I want to ban because I hate everybody that doesn't agree with me. True.
Is that the world's going to improve by getting rid of you. That's a call to action.
Yeah.
That's an actual call to action. We must do this. We need to get rid of these people. How is it not if you say these people are an existential threat to everybody, right? How's that not really a call to action? Because that's what it sounds like to me.
There's a reason why, and this is actually a fascinating metric I'd love to study. Maybe we could hire like maybe People's Pundit. Rich Bears could help us out with this. After the election, that was a major inflection point. CNN and MSNBC's ratings collapsed. Yep. David Pakman, Brian Tyler Cohen, they started bleeding subscribers. Yeah. And he made a big deal out of it.
Yeah, he did.
And then when we responded,
I don't know why Pakman made that video. It might have just been like a call for subs or whatever. And I think he got subs, but like there wasn't this huge exodus of subs like people are trying to say. Like unless more left and I missed it. But it wasn't like there was this massive bleeding of subs from these channels. God, this dog shit. Like he's already made them. He made them back within a week. It was 10K subs off of a 2.7 million channel. Like not like yeah. I don't know why Pakman made that like massive doomer video, but it may be. I mean, I'm sure he sold a lot of subscriptions off of it too. But yeah,
he made another big deal out of it. If you look at their account on X, AOC lost like 150K this month, more now. They're fleeing to Blue Sky or other apps. And their accounts on X, AOC lost like 150K this month, more now.
That channel is or X is so botted. Who the even cares? Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. But like, oh my god.
Now they're fleeing to Blue Sky or other apps. And so we saw in the inverse, Fox News' ratings go up. Our viewership skyrocketed. We jumped a substantial amount. We are still seeing increased ratings. Right now, we're at 60,625 concurrent views, where we were averaging before like 45K. So we've seen a boost. I'm wondering if this is regular people were watching these leftists, these liberals, believed them, saw that the majority of the country did not agree. Some of them either asked themselves, am I wrong? Some of them said, oh crap, I'm on the wrong side of history. But I'm wondering if we can actually track that sentiment among people who ditched the liberal shows and are rushing over here. And I think then the reason why people like Destiny are saying we'd be better off without them is because then the viewers would have nowhere else to go and they'd be trapped in his sycophantic lie machine.
My sycophantic lie machine. True.
Well, it's always been the case that the leftists on Twitch and on YouTube have always pulled their resources, especially on Twitch, to remove any right-wing personality who existed there. For a good example of this, Fuentes was on Twitch. He was vastly popular. I think, to my understanding, he did follow the terms of service that they had set down at the time. They got rid of him because leftists collectively demanded that they get rid of him. That was it. And it's because, why? Well, he siphoned a ton of viewers. And because of that...
I don't know how I got swept up in that, but okay.
He siphons their money. And that's what it comes down to, right? You're exactly right. They want to have the pool of viewership and the pool of cash. So, yeah, they do collectively demand often that right-wingers be removed from these platforms, whether they're breaking the TOS or not. They don't care. And they'll make shit. I've seen them make up various things. I've seen them say, this guy's advocating for transgender genocide and all sorts of crazy things that nobody ever said anything about in order to push reports to various platforms to get you deplatformed.
You know, the craziest thing I've been talking about for the past month, I went onto the front page of YouTube. I normally don't look, I don't go onto YouTube and look at default not signed in account like a fresh browser login. And I started to because we saw our viewership spike randomly. And I was like, okay, we got to be featured. Like, they put you on the front page, your viewership's going to jump. So I go to the front page, and sure enough, I see Timcast IRL, and I'm like, wow, something changed in the algorithm. I don't know if it's after the CEO passed on, rest in peace, no disrespect. The new CEO had a change of heart and said, if the show's good, it's good, put it on the front page. What I noticed, though, when I started looking, there are channels that will take a clip of me from this show talking about, I don't know, roosters, and then put that in a screen with Cenk Uygur, who was talking about tax rates from 5 years ago, and make it seem like we're debating. And they'll get 30,000 views on it and make money. That's insane and freaky stuff. So you'll get a video where, I can't remember, one of them I saw made the claim that me and Cenk Uygur were fighting with each other, and we were enemies, and I was like, that's really weird. Like, he was actually, we were talking to him about coming on the show, and everything was cordial. We disagreed, but he's been cordial. So I clicked the video, and it was a total fabrication, and it had like 38,000 views or something, and I was like, holy crap. I went back and I saw a bunch of these Ben Shapiro debating a guy in different channels doing it. They realize that this space and these debates get traffic and people want to see it. They realize that big names attract the viewers, and so they can make a fake video. They don't call it parody or anything like that. They just say, wow, look at this. Whoa. And they play it. It's
that's been going on for years.
I mean, DMC it. Yeah, people do this. People steal content and show all the time. DMC it.
People tapping into the large content creators have conflict.
Making these fake videos I've never seen before.
They do it all. Yeah, they've been doing it for a while.
Making videos from two different channels totally unrelated to each other and combining them to make a fake debate.
Well, maybe not specifically that. Was it an actual fake debate that they hosted? Oh, really?
It was like a short video with a couple clips. One of them was me, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but let's say I'm talking about Joe Biden comes out and says transgender pressure. Yeah. And then I go, what was that? That was gibberish nonsense. The man's not even speaking English now. How could you sit there and tell me this guy is giving you an honest argument? And then it would be a clip. Cenk Uygur going, don't say that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I mean, that's an old way to do satire too.
Yeah, right? But this was not satire.
Didn't
you have something to do with the Fuentes ban on Twitch, or am I misremembering? You're just remembering shit right-wingers have said about me. I never wanted Fuentes banned at all. Or at least not after, maybe I did like really early on, but not after we'd like had our debate and done everything. I don't remember if I ever said I wanted Fuentes banned, but we had that big debate on Trainwreck's show. And then I think like a week after, Fuentes got banned, and then another right-winger that I debated got banned. And I reached out to my partner manager, was like, why the fuck like, why are you guys banning right wingers? It makes me look crazy that every time I debate a right winger, you guys like site ban them afterwards. Like, it's not good. When Fuentes got banned last time permanently from Twitch, I was not in favor of that. And I spoke to my account manager, and I spoke to my stream, and I spoke publicly about it. I was like, I don't know why, unless he broke the rules, I don't know why these people are getting banned from the platform. I wasn't supportive of that when it happened.
It was a guy hosting it going, hey guys, so I was watching the debate with Tim and Jack, and it was really crazy because Tim was saying this, and I was like, what?
Just totally fabricated?
Yes, 100%. And there were a bunch of them from different people, and
Wow.
I was like, yo, what is this? That's freaky.
So they just look at what's trending in the algo, maybe, and then try to push that content out.
Certain names get clicks.
Yeah, of course.
It's like when people make the clips from this show where they edit it in funny ways, where it's like me and Ian staring into each other's eyes, and then the next clip is like we're not there anymore, and then those are funny. But these videos are weird. Anyway, to your point, the reason I bring it up, it is like Sam Seder is the king of this. He just makes things up every day. It's like his whole show is just fabricated. The dude literally came on the Culture War podcast.
I know, I watched it.
Did you see when he said that's the clip I was trying to get?
Yep.
He admitted to doing it. So this guy, Sam Seder, comes
That
on.
was he was very, so I was expecting when he came on that this was going to be a really kind of a good exchange because Seder is known as being a fairly decent debater inside of these spheres. I never thought so, but he's known for being one. And he was just kind of doddering. He was like, I want to make an allegation, but I can't make an allegation, but I want to make an allegation.
The best example is I outright said I'm pro-choice. I think due to the impossibility of regulating certain issues pertaining to health, and so I said the Supreme. So I don't want to relay the whole argument. The point was Supreme Court has to give us an answer on personhood as to whether the 14th Amendment applies to the unborn as persons, not citizens. We don't have that. I believe a conservative court will, and that will ban abortion overnight. It would require adjudication for it. Personally, I said as of right now, I'm more pro-choice. I think abortion is wrong, but I see an impossibility in properly regulating it right now because of various issues.
Cringed him.
Sure,
Cringed
that's fine.
him.
And that's fine. And I said, so I think, I don't know if it's 15, 18, 22 weeks, whatever that number is, we'll find where a woman can just go in. And I said, there are questions of consent. He then asks me a hypothetical. How would you deal with consent? I'm like, we should get a rape, I guess. And he was like, so a woman would have to get a rape to prove that she didn't consent. And I was like, yes. My argument was never that I thought women should be forced to do these things. Mine was, I'm pro-choice up to a certain amount, pre-viability. A woman doesn't need a reason.
I don't understand how the rape thing, that doesn't even make sense. Like, I wouldn't even attack that argument on some ethical. I would just say it's stupid. Like, let's say a woman wants to go get an abortion. She has to, and then she just does a rape. It's like, okay, whatever. Like, my boyfriend. Does he mean like you have to file criminal charges too or something? Or I don't even know what the point of this
At all. I think it's wrong. And we want to go the Ron Paul route. It should be unthinkable, not illegal. In the event of consent, he asks me, he then goes off and starts saying things like, you're disgusting. You son of a, you're so gross. And I'm sitting here being like, oh, here he goes. You're trying to get a clip. After he was finished with his overly emotional rant, he just calms down and goes, that was the clip I was trying to get. Outright admitting on the show, he just wanted to cause a scene. It's remarkable. This is what the left does, and this is why they lose. If I said something to you like, if you were a leftist, Andrew, if you're like a hardcore leftist, what do you think, tax-wise, what tax rate would you advocate for?
90%.
You insane,
Exactly.
you really? And then
You're disgusting.
And then what we do is we clip the part where I say, what tax rate would you advocate for? You say 90%,
Yeah.
and I claim, and that's what he does, and it's fake. His whole show is fake. And this is what they do. And so the reason why they don't like the competition is because they want to be able to lie, manipulate the algorithm, make money. They are what
Are you cool with Andrew right now? He seemed chill before the election stream, but now he's talking mad shit. I think I have Andrew blacklisted because he goes on and on about my personal shit too much. I just spoke with him because he happened to be on that Jubilee show that I didn't know about, and then he wanted to talk about it afterwards. But let's assume that me and Andrew were cool before I saw this. I don't know how many times I can say this, or I don't know how to make people understand this, or maybe it's just so inhuman. Maybe just ordinary human beings can't do this. Andrew's being a snake again. I don't agree that anything that Andrew Snake is doing here is snaky. I think everything Andrew is saying on this show, I think he would say to me. Like, so if we were cool, this wouldn't change any of that. Like, if Andrew was talking to me personally, like, oh yeah, like I think it totally clip jumped you there. I don't think you're a pro deplatforming at all, or blah blah blah. You know, if he would have said all that, and then he would go on the show and do this, I'd be like, okay, well, fuck you, bitch. But I'm pretty sure that if me and Andrew were debating or arguing over this, he would make all these same accusations. He would say to my face, I don't care. Yeah, I don't know. If somebody makes the same claims that they would make to me, to somebody else, it doesn't bother. I don't care if they're negative. I'm sure Pisco talks about how I haven't read her report or the Colorado Supreme Court ruling to other people too. I don't care. But Pisco says it to me. I don't care. As long as you keep the same energy. Not even keep the same energy. Just don't be snaky or backstabby, I guess. Yeah.
they project onto others. They say everyone else is grifting, and it's one big scam. But you know what? Greg Gutfeld, I gotta give him credit for it every time I say this because it was masterfully said. The left, their whole worldview is downstream from hoaxes.
Oh my God. He's got it. I feel like these guys must just copy me. They're like, okay, what is Destiny saying about conservatives? And then let's just say that about liberals because he's got good criticism. And then we're just going to say the same thing about that. I think I'm the source of all news from everybody in the U.S. Every single person. They all get it from me. Some of them just do the opposite. That's what's happening. Guaranteed.
Everything they talk about is derivative of a hoax. But once you see through one of them, there's no going back.
Yeah.
My response to that is that explains SNL, for instance. The jokes on SNL that don't make sense, where they have RFK Jr. out and come out and be like, gotta get rid of all the vaccines. And I was like, what's the joke? I mean, RFK Jr. is not anti-vax. Oh, it's because in their hoax world, they think he hates vaccines. And then you actually listen to the guy like any sane person, and he's like, I think vaccines should undergo rigorous testing like every other medication, and I recommend them. And you're like, oh. So it's like a moderate position. It's totally normal.
Yeah, well, in satire, if it doesn't point at the truth, isn't funny. That's the point, right? And so when people say Saturday Night Live, for instance, isn't funny, because you're not pointing at the truth. If you're not pointing at the truth, you can't have any humor. Otherwise, what are we even talking about, right?
So anyway, I digress. I'm done ranting about those people, but so what? Twitch revenue is just flat. The stock guys says his ad revenue is down 95%.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Twitch
had a great opportunity with their platform before they sold out. They had some great shows on there with some great talent, and they literally buckled under to Hassan Piker. I mean, basically, whatever Hassan wants on that platform, Hassan gets, and that's that. So if you're a popular right-wing entertainer or commentator, you go on there and you make fun of the golden boy, you're gone. I mean, that's it. So Twitch has always been unfriendly to the right. Everybody knows that.
Yep.
But now...
Meanwhile, do this to Trump and...
It's so beyond obvious, and that's why the gamers there like, look,
isn't Twitch Amazon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Bezos must have had a conversation with somebody. You know, he comes out and says, Washington Post, we're not going to endorse. He's like, oh, we have to be impartial. I think when the left started saying that they were going to pass these taxes on unrealized gains, and he actually got us to defend Jeff Bezos, or I should say that the left got us to defend Jeff Bezos. I'm like, Bezos doesn't make $1 billion a year. His salary, I think, is $1 million plus, it's 80,000 plus bonus. So he makes a couple $1 million per year. He takes out loans against his stock. He cannot sell the stock because of contractual obligations with the structure of the company.
Yeah, but he takes out the loan, so he doesn't have to pay taxes on the money.
Well, he can't take out the money. So this is the issue.
You really? Every single share of Amazon that Bezos has is untouchable by him? He has all of those shares are restricted and are unsellable?
He owns Amazon. They have, when he wants to sell stock, the stock has to reach a threshold before he can liquidate it.
Yeah.
So if we were to tax him on unrealized gains, he'd be like, I don't have any of that money.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, sell your stock. I'm not legally allowed to sell the stock. If the government then intervened in the Amazon contract to force him to sell the stock, it would gut the value of Amazon.
Isn't the idea here, though, that you set the company up?
Jeff Bezos, Amazon stock sales. Jeffrey P. Bezos, the chief executive of Amazon, one of the largest internet retailing and cloud computing service providers in the world, has sold more than 16.35 millions of Amazon shares that are worth $3.37 billion in November alone. Did he break the law? I could be wrong. Now, I'm not as wrong as Tim is because I'm not a moron. However, it wouldn't surprise me if you were like there are certain classes of share that you are locked into for some time, sure. But I think when you own a certain amount of shares, or if you're like the owner, if you're on the board, you might have to announce your sales ahead of time, like by approval from the board or something like that. So like you might say, I want to sell this many shares, and then you go to the board for approval, and then in the quarter or after the filings or whatever you do it, there might be some process like that. But to say that like, oh no, he can never access any of his Amazon wealth, he can't sell any of those shares, like, bro, get the fuck out of here.
Up so that it operates that way, so you can take out loans. You're taking out loans against what your potential net worth is, because on a loan, when you're paying the loan back, you don't have to pay any taxes on that.
You don't have to set up the company that way to do that. So if you are the owner of a company and you have liquid stock and you unrealize $1 million in gains, you have unrealized gains of $1 million, you could liquidate the stock or you can get a loan against it.
Yeah, that's true.
Bezos' structure, for whatever reason, by all means accuse him of that structure or otherwise, he can't just sell. But there is no...
What are you even saying? Bezos has a company where he can never sell any share of the company ever? I mean, ignore the fact that just like this is not true. Like, what are we saying right now? How does this make, in what world does it even make sense? Like, there's a world where Jeff Bezos gets in a really bad car accident and hits a really expensive car and has to file bankruptcy because he can't access any of the wealth. And I don't know, whatever.
Unrealized gains tax, so there's no reason to do that. The structure, I think, has to do with the investors who came in, and if he were to sell too much stock at once, it would tank the value of the company. If they pass unrealized taxes like Kamala wanted to do, he's screwed.
Yeah.
They just he loses the company.
Yep.
So he must have been like, turn it around. Twitch, Washington Post, everything. We're pro-Trump now.
And that was never passing. We'll ignore all the tariffs, but okay. Why would he even think this? Because I don't know. Because he's an idiot. God.
No. Or at the very least, neutral. And that's, but to be honest, the advertisers leaving Twitch likely has more to do with the Zionism stuff. Hassan Piker's had some real messed up stuff.
It's part of it. But I mean, it's been happening for a while. The decline of Twitch has been going on for a while, especially with Twitch politics. Twitch politics used to be a pretty brutal place that was kind of fun to go to. Had a lot of good political commentators there. That's all done. That it just doesn't even exist there anymore. Now all that exists is a couple of these big personalities, and if they want you off, you're off. The gamers absolutely hate all the any political talk whatsoever because it's supposed to be a gaming platform, right? So it doesn't make any sense. Their moderation policy makes no sense, and people just stop watching it. They just don't want to support it.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to the...
I appreciate that, Destiny.
All right. Bye.
Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.